What is going on, guys? My name is Reese Wachakolam, and today we are going to be looking at Cineplex stock, a Canadian stock that is actually very interesting to me, and it actually has something very attractive, which is a 7% dividend yield. Well, let's take a look at the stock and see what it's exactly about. What actually is Cineplex? Personally, I know about Cineplex because I have been to their movie theaters before. They are huge in the movie theater scene in Canada. So, looking through their investors relations page, what I can tell you is Cineplex is a Canadian stock, so it is traded on the TSX, and it's a top-tier Canadian brand that operates in the film, entertainment and content, amusement and leisure and media sectors. They have over 70 million guests annually through their theaters. Cineplex is also heavy in the digital commerce, food service, alternative programming, cinema media, digital place media, as well as amusement solutions and an online esports platform for competitive and passionate gamers. Cineplex also has a few acquisitions such as the Rec Room, Palladium, Top Golf, and they are a joint venture partner in Scene, Canada's largest entertainment loyalty program. So, just to put all that into context, Cineplex is in media, exhibition, merchandising, alternative programming, loyalty, and digital commerce. Personally, I've seen their theaters almost everywhere. I think they are easily the dominative force in the theater industry or the box office industry. And we can just look right here of how badly they're dominating. 75.8%, so basically 76% of the market goes straight to Cineplex, 11% goes to Landmark, and I've personally been to Landmark as well, and I'll quickly talk about that in a bit. But guys, they have 165 theaters. They're obviously dominating. They're the dominating theater in this sector. So quickly, just to talk about Landmarks, what I've noticed is that Cineplex and Landmarks, they're two different companies, and what I've noticed is Landmarks actually has like the reclining chairs at a cheaper price compared to Cineplex. So in terms of affordability, Landmarks is definitely up there, but that's not to say that Cineplex is still dominating. Cineplex is 100% dominating and going full force. Landmark, I don't know why, but they just don't have as much business as Cineplex. So let's just quickly look at the stock financials real quick. Cineplex is trading around the $25 mark, and right there, guys, you can easily see they have a 7% dividend. They also have a PE ratio of about 20, and according to the intelligent investor, anything from 10 to 20 is decent. A market cap of 1.5 billion. Guys, to me, this company, it looks okay. Their financials, I would strongly recommend you go check out their earnings reports. And personally, I don't like to cover that stuff on my channel because I feel like that's something every investor should do for themselves. So definitely go check that out. So the stock has a 7% dividend yield. So that's pretty good. So why isn't the stock bubbling? Why isn't this booming? Why isn't everyone talking about it? Well, first off, this is exactly what I think about Cineplex and what I think about theaters in general. In like 10 years, do you guys really think that people are going to be going to theaters? Think about it now. Like, you can literally watch a movie on your laptop. Like, you can literally watch a movie on your phone. You don't really need to go to the theater. And unless you want that theater experience, that's cool. But one thing I actually will show you is I actually have like an in-home theater at my house, which is projected on actually this wall right behind me. So movies can get projected on the wall, and I'll quickly show you the projector. So yeah, right there, that would be my projector that projects onto the wall. So I don't know. That right there just proves to show that like our theater is really going to be around in a few years. Like, I basically have a home theater system in my house. Do I really need to go to the theater? No, I don't. I don't remember the last time I've been to a theater, to be honest. At least a few months. I rarely go to the theater just because I have that, and I can just go on my laptop, on my computer, on my phone, and just watch a movie if I ever want to. But again, going back to their investors relations page, let's take a look at what their strategy is long term. So the first thing is they want to enhance and expand their existing infrastructure and service offerings. They want to capitalize on core media strengths. They want to develop, scale gaming-related amusement, leisure concepts, including the Rec Room, which, first of all, guys, I find that very interesting because, think about it. The gaming industry is 100% going to keep growing exponentially. It's crazy how fast the gaming industry is growing. And we're going to quickly talk about their esports stuff in a bit, but Cineplex being involved with gaming, I think that's extremely smart, and I think that's awesome for diversification. So they also want to improve their entertainment in theater, at home, and on the go, and they want to do more acquisitions and diversification opportunities, which, again, like I mentioned, I think that's extremely important when looking at a stock long term. So going back to their share price, I just want to quickly mention that Cineplex did actually take a 20% hit because they missed their third quarter earnings. And they had higher revenues, but I don't know. Sometimes earnings are just weird. Like, you can be perfect on revenues, but the stock will still dip down in price. personally, I think this could be a buying option. Later on, we'll talk about will I buy this stock? I mean, we'll get into that later on, but that is just something to take note of. So let's talk about esports, because I mean, if you guys don't know what esports is, this is basically competitive gaming. So I mean, gaming industry is by far blowing up. There's millions of dollars going into competitive gaming. So what I think is actually extremely interesting is they're actually having these gaming events and these gaming tournaments inside the theaters. And I mean, first of all, as someone that does play video games occasionally, I think that's awesome. Like, playing video games in a theater is probably so cool. I mean, imagine just playing, like, I don't know, any type of game, just Call of Duty, or whether that's a FIFA game or whatever that is on a theater. That would probably be amazing. So yeah, they are looking to do more partnerships, more content, and more impressions and engagement through esports, through Cineplex. So I think that's amazing. Next up, let's look at Diem, which is kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese type thing for American viewers that may be watching this. Diem is basically like an arcade, and they're thinking of opening 10 to 15 entertainment complexes across Canada over the coming years. Again, like mentioned, diversification is key, so I mean, I think that's awesome. And yeah, they do also have the rec room, which is like a food and arcade type thing. So I mean, here's the arcade, and right now in this picture, this is kind of like, I guess, like a bar type feeling. And I mean, it looks like a cool area. It's super open concept. I think it's cool. I mean, I've never been to one. Maybe I will go to one in the future, but I think it's very cool. So this is actually Top Golf, and in Canada, I don't think we have one yet, but so let me tell you guys something. Cineplex and Top Golf have announced a partnership, and this partnership, they haven't really talked too much about it in terms of if like revenue and how they're going to split up profits and stuff like that. But Cineplex do have a position with Top Golf. They do have a partnership, and I mean, this is huge because there is no Top Golf places in Canada. I think they're starting to bring one in 2019. And I mean, again, diversification is huge. Cineplex is just going to dominate the entertainment industry with Top Golf. And yeah, that's pretty much what Top Golf is. It's basically like a driving range, but it's like super like high tech and modern. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. And so another thing I want to cover is the Cineplex media portfolio. So this is basically what they do. They have the pre-show, they have Showtime, they have digital signage, Cineplex.com, Cineplex Mobile, and magazines. And they basically have a bunch of other places where they actually do external networks that actually are, the sales representation is managed by Cineplex Media. So this is by en route. So if you've ever gone to, let's just say maybe the GTA to Montreal, you've probably stopped off at an en route to get some Tim Hortons. I mean, it's just, as a Canadian, that's just a given. You've been to an en route before. As well as shopping centers, Tim's TV, and Concourse Network. So they basically do, you see all like the signs on like, if you go to a restaurant, you probably see all the signs up that like talk about, oh, today's value menu or whatever that is. So Cineplex Media actually does a lot of that stuff and arranging the screens and arranging all that stuff. So I think that's also very interesting. So I did do some diving into the investors relations, and I actually saw how much of each diversification or how much of each sector is bringing in revenue, and I'm not going to share it with you guys because I'm telling you, you need to go and do your own research. So I'm not going to be sharing that in this video. So go and do your research. Please go do your research. But yeah, it's very interesting to look at. So go check it out. So Cineplex, 7% dividend yield. I mean, they have decent diversification. The future is looking, I don't know, it's looking decent, but I'm not too sure, because one thing I do want to also mention is virtual reality. Virtual reality is going to be huge in the future. Like, realistically, in 10 years, you'll be able to, I mean, not even 10 years. I'm pretty sure even now you can go through and do Top Golf or do golfing in VR. It just won't be as realistic. So, I mean, maybe in 10 years, it will be so that it's like exactly like Top Golf. So, I mean, that's just the reason why I don't really know if I will be putting my money into Cineplex. I mean, if I do, it would have to be probably just for the dividends. And I mean, one thing I also want to mention is we are bound for a recession eventually. In a recession, will Cineplex prosper? Will they strive? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, think about it. If the economy crashes, do you think people are going to be going to movie theaters and spending money on Top Golf, arcades, and stuff like that? Maybe the rich people will, but the average person, will they still be doing all this recreational stuff during a recession? The answer is probably not. But I mean, again, maybe when the recession hits, this could be a great buying opportunity on the dip. So on the dip, 100% I am looking to purchase just because of that fat dividend. And I mean, I think during the dip and then buying it while the economy starts to grow back, I think that is a good buy opportunity. But in terms of buying it now or buying it on like a small dip, I don't think so. But if it's a recession, I think I will be buying. Other than that, that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, this is a quick overview of Cineplex. Like mentioned, please go and check out their investors relations. Go do some research, read some news articles. I mean, this video itself just took me maybe like 3 hours of research. So I mean, that's 3 hours of research that you don't have to do, but I mean, you still have to do a lot of research. So go check that out. And again, this isn't financial advice or anything like that. I mean, I never said go buy the stock or anything like that. So again, do your own research. This is just for entertainment purposes and kind of educational purposes. But I mean, other than that, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just drop it down below. And if you really want to reach out to me, see what I'm up to on my day-to-day life, the best way to figure that out would be to go on Instagram. And I mean, other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, go subscribe. It really means a lot and it really keeps me motivated and drives me to make more videos. Make sure you hit that bell so you never miss a video. And other than that, I guess I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Thank you so much.